What's up, everyone? It's your boy K to Don.
And I'm Natika.
We have a very special guest in the podcast building with us. We have event promoter, celebrity concert promoter, and Mr. Just I know everybody and I do everything in the building. Showtime, make some noise.
Shout it out. Showtime, Go Time Music in the building.
Yo, man, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Making it happen. Just as great as you guys are doing, man.
Hey, I mean, it's a blessing for you to bless us with your time today. I mean, you've been making amazing moves. A lot of people have been talking to us about you. We did our own research, just seeing you're doing amazing things. So, I mean, you guys are tuned into a very special episode because he's going to give you some keys to success about how to make it in this industry, how to put together these mega events with these A-list artists. So it's a lot going on. So before we even do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button.
Definitely.
Yep.
And of course, well, if you're a YouTube, you're subscribing and liking and commenting. Instagram, you like it. But that Love First TV app is where it drops first. So if you want that exclusive look early, all you got to do is go to your app store, download the Love First TV to your app. And Natika.
Yeah, go do it now. What are you waiting for? Hello.
Exactly. Do it like Nike.
Do it now.
It's Love First. So I'm kind of curious.
Talk about it.
What is your story? Like, how did you get started in the industry to become the successful promoter that you are now?
Well, for one, thank you for the compliment of successful promoter.
It's truth.
The origins go back. It goes back a long time ago. I actually began in the industry under Henchman Records and Bad Boys Entertainment when they were still in the city on 26th Street and 19th. I interned at both, one for Steve Lewis at Henchman, and of course, you guys know Puff and Bad Boys, but what did he today?
Yeah.
And then I got away from it for a while and stuff, and then recently kind of stumbled back a few years into it.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided to go full throttle, and since then I've just been relentless, nonstop.
For real. And even because you actually had to sit down for a little bit and you came back out, right? So kind of break down like what happened with that. What was your mindset that allowed you to even move the way that you're moving now?
Well, when I decided to get back into the industry, things have changed from, the 90s to today. We got Instagram and YouTube, and that wasn't the way. So coming back into it, I got a lot of, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You got to do this. You got to have 200,000 followers. You've got to, and I was like, I'm not trying to hear that. I want to do what I want to do, and I'm going to go for it. And so I spoke to a friend, Steve Lewis, who's still with me today, and I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do, man. I want to get back in the game. Come in it with me. And he was kind of like, nah, I'm done. I'm retired. And, and he was like, you show me something that's worth the while, then I'll think about it. And eventually got there, and here we are today. So, shout out Steve Lewis.
Nice.
Fire.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
How were you able to get to that point with him to kind of prove yourself or, get past that hurdle?
Yeah.
So Steve, he knows me from literally a kid, from 12, 13 years old.
Oh
So,
my God.
The character in me is To Go,
Yeah.
which is my label. Go Time Music is the brand and the force behind Showtime, me the person. And so, when I told him that I wanted to do it, he knew me. He knew that I wasn't going to kind of just roll
Back down,
over
right?
and back down. And so I remember he said to me, he's like, hey, listen, man, you want to jump into this music, you bring me $1 million song that I think is, worth it, and we'll look into it, right? And, I met a young lady at the time who was an artist, amazing artist. We started working straight out of pocket, and she put a song out. It was pretty good. And when they seen I was able to do that, they was like, all right, let's do it. What do you want to do? And that's how we started, I was away for a long time, and coming back, it wasn't easy. It's still not easy, you know what I'm saying? But, it's better to work a lot than to work hard,
Sure. For real.
Yeah.
Doing what you love.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've worked with some big people, from Burna Boy, Cardi B, Diddy, Glorilla. I mean, the list just goes on crazy. So I'm kind of curious because with all of that, and it sounds like a dream for a lot of people. So I want to know, what was your favorite event out of all the ones that you did and why?
Oh, wow. Well, let me say this. We do a lot of different things. So we do from parties that have, specific bookings to private parties to concert venues as well. I would have to say was the Future concert that we did in December. For me to go from just, a promoter in the city to one of the promoters that put on Future, 21 Savage, and, King Combs, Kitty, Little Kim, Fabio
Hey.
Foreign, Lola Brooks at Barclays. It was like,
Barclays,
That's wild.
legendary.
we did it, man. Shout out to the Lions Group.
Yeah.
Partners of mine in the city that get busy, they opened a lot of doors for me. So I definitely got to shout out Mr. Miller, Felix. Need a plug? Are you plugged in? You know what it is, man.
Yo, fire.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, is there? This is actually a question from one of our interns. So thank you,
Okay.
Abby, for this. But
Shout it out, Ad.
was there ever a time that it was hard to gather the creatives you needed for the production? And if so, what did you do differently to gather more individuals?
Okay,
Good
so
question.
yeah, so it's always like doing these type of events are always tricky, because you have to. It's risk involved, you know what I'm saying? And like when you wanna, let's say someone is coming into the city in 2 weeks,
Oh my
say,
God.
like let's say recently we've had Carly B and Future, Burna Boy, them type of names, and we talk to them, right? And we link out to them and say, hey, we'd like to book you and have you at an industry event, and they say yeah. The thing about it is that the money that you have to pay to book them, you've got to sell out the spot. You have to make that money back.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's an engine. It's a car with many cogs in the system. And so I can't just say it's just me. You know what I'm saying? I have partners such as the Lions Group. Sometimes we work with, Dream Hospitality as well. And then they have systems in place such as sub promoters and other promoters underneath them that go out and actually help get the word out and get the people that want to buy sections and that want to party with us. So it's a lot of people involved. It's not just the main names you see. So I can't take credit for all that.
Right.
And it can get hard because you got to sell tickets and you got to sell tables and, you got to hope that the word is getting out. So last minute, anybody that hears it is quick to rush home from work and get ready to come out and party, and you hope that you have a good sellout event, man, and that everybody's happy. And it's also a safe environment, and everybody makes it home safe as well.
Absolutely.
That's good.
No, that's really important. And even, what I'm curious, because a lot of people, they'll see what you're doing now and, just feel like, oh, that's the dream. Like, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to be. But can you tell us about, like, an obstacle that you had to overcome that could have been literally a breaking point for you, but you overcame it, and how you overcame it?
Okay, like now since I've been doing this, well, I'll be quite honest. Maybe about within the last 6 months and prior to about a year, there was a point where you work so hard that you kind of say, am I making traction? Am I getting to where I need to be? Are people recognizing, is the Showtime, Go Time music brand getting out there? And, you wonder if it's all worth it. You know what I'm saying? The time and the investment and the push and the struggle, the lack of sleep, the risk of health. And sometimes it even takes, it's heavy on relationships. But when we did the Future concert, and even a couple of things after that, we've done a Burna Boy concert after that, and we've had so many big names that when I started to recognize that these same artists, celebrities, famous people, even the regular consumer and customer that comes in and shouting out, Showtime, Go Time music.
Yeah.
And I'm turning around, I'm like, oh shit, they talking to me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's happening. When partners start to trust in you more. You know what I'm saying? When you're being invited to certain venues and certain places by people that say, yeah, we want him here. We need him here. That's a great sign. It's a great feeling. It's one of those that I tell you all, just keep pushing. Keep pushing when you feel like you've given it all. Keep going.
I
Keep
totally
going.
understand that. Like, I've done, from personal experience, I've had people come up to me and they're like, yo, you've been putting on a lot of shows. And I'm like, oh wow, you're actually like noticing. Okay, cool,
Yes.
thank you.
It's a great feeling.
Like, thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's great. You just gotta like keep going, and sometimes you gotta be like a horse without blinders.
Yes.
Just like gotta keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever find yourself, I don't know if this is something that happens in the industry, but has a celebrity ever reached out to you and be like, I need you to put together something for me?
Yes, you tend to celebrity. I mean, it's not really. Sometimes the celebrity. Normally, it's like the manager,
Right. Okay.
or it's normally a friend of the celebrity, or
Right.
whatever. And of course, I know the celebrity, so like when a celebrity comes, hey, Showtime, what's up, and high fives and stuff. But it's normally the team. The team will reach out to you, or they'll reach out to like again my partners. You know what I'm saying? I have to give them flowers. They're bigger than me in the city. Lions Group, super big. Again, Felix, Mr. Miller, Nee. They'll reach out to these guys and they'll say, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going to be in the city on such a date, or we have a birthday coming, or we have an album release we'd like to focus on. And, and it all works and stuff. So, yeah, you do get an artist or two that will reach out. But normally it's the team of
Gotcha.
the artists that'll do it.
Gotcha.
Nice. And even like where I kind of get this question too, right? When you're around like these celebrities and artists and different things, like who is someone that you can say when you see them on camera, they are the exact same person off camera? Because you have people that change. You know what I mean? So who can you say one of those people that are the same on and off? The two people that I've always said personally have been like Megan Good. She's like the same on and off. And I hate that I always forget his name every time I tell the story. But the guy that played the Hulk in the Marvel movie.
Oh, you're talking about Mark
That's
Ruffalo?
my favorite
Mark,
character.
yeah,
Look
there
at
we
her.
go. Mark Ruffalo.
Shout out to her.
I love you. I always
Incredible
forget the name. I'm gonna remember. But I did an event for him, and same thing. If anything, he might actually be nicer off camera than.
I've heard he's such a nice person.
Honestly, too nice. But I'm curious. So who have you met that you would say is exactly what you see?
Man, we get a lot of people that party with us on their free time, and some of the people that I've interacted consistently, shout out to Cardi B, man.
Oh yeah.
Yo, she is everything that she says she is, man. Even like the Papoose and Remy's and them,
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to that later.
Yeah, like A Boogie, these are people that, see me, Fabio Foreign, like, these are people that they are who they say they are, you know what I'm saying? And it's not just, sometimes you can have somebody that's nice to me because I'm the face that's known, but it's when I can stand to the side and see how they interact with the people on the outside. Even we just recently had Puff, right? And just quick. When the night was over and we were waiting to escort him out, like there's a lot of people trying to get next to him and
Right.
hey Puff, can we take a picture? And of course the security does their job to kind of say, hey, give us some space, and he quickly intervened and was like, nah, you gotta let them talk. They want to talk to me. They want to be next to me. Like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? He turned to me, we said some things on how we were gonna get him out. And he took a second, and for me that was refreshing. Oh, another person, 50 Cent, man, shout it out, King. 50 did something I like to put on the air, man. Shout outs to him, man. When we met and we got really, cool in the discussion, like I remember someone asked him to take a picture. Yeah. And I was standing on the side, and I felt somebody tugging at me. When I turned around, it was him. And he wanted me to get in a picture with him.
That's
like
awesome.
If we had been friends for 20 years. So,
wow.
Things like that I say, shout it out to you guys, man. Thank you for remaining humble and not letting the money or the fame change you, man. Big shout out, son. Showtime, Go Time.
For real. Nah, that's fire. And even when you was telling your story, I don't know if I'm gonna delete this out later, but like with Fabio Ford, right? He'd be so turned up. I remember doing an interview with him for a show, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, what do you think about the festival? I just named the festival that he did, right? And then he heard the festival name. He's like, yo, that sounds lit. He's like, yo, they need to book me. Let me know about that. I'm like, bro, you just got off the stage. He turned up. That definitely fun.
Yeah, Fabio's official. He just recently did his video with Kenzo and French Montana and stuff. So that if it's not out already, it should be out soon.
That's fire. That's a great look for Kenzo too.
Yeah.
Fire.
She's fire too. She's getting busy.
Yeah. So I also noticed something, about your attire that I'm curious about, because I see you have like a lace around your neck. Can you explain? Is there meaning to it? Or?
Yes. So this is dear to me. So my origins prior to getting into the music again, when I said I was kind of away for a little bit when from the 90s to now, was that I was incarcerated for 23 years. And so, coming home, I've been home now 3 years. These are actually the laces that I wore in my state boots for 23 years. So when I leave the house, I put them around my neck and to make sure that when I'm outside, that nothing derails me. That nothing, it's a constant reminder of make it home. Remember when you were in there, and like today I have friends on the New York Giants and the Jets and the Knicks, and I had to watch those games in the yard in the cold or through cell bars. And today I'm friends with these guys to listen to music on, a plugged-in wall. That today I shake the hands of Future and Diddy and Kevin Liles and Carly B and Baby and, Little Baby. And these guys are now, acquaintances, associates, work partners, things like that. So it's a constant reminder to me and to you all to just value your lives. Value your freedom, take advantage of it every day, go hard, it's go time, baby.
Yo, that's dope, man. I mean, that joint is so inspiring to me and see people like you and the bro Champ, of course, shout out to Champ.
Yeah, shout it out, Champ. We on, baby.
For sure. But and just the way that you guys had time taken away from you guys and how you accomplish stuff for people that had all the time in the world weren't able to do, how you guys had such tunnel vision and was able to make these leaps. So one, I have friends and family that have been incarcerated, so I always like to point that out to just inspire them because they might feel like so much time has been taken, like what can I do? Like I almost want to give up, but you can go and get it. And to the people that haven't been incarcerated, if this man can get out there and make all these types of moves in 3 years, there's no excuse for you. Like you got to be out there getting it. And that, even what you were saying about the laces and that reminder and just having that, like, I'm not going back today. I'm here for a reason, and this is what I'm going to get done. And, you were so humble when we talked about, thank you for having me here and noticing this.
No, definitely,
but
man. I feel like a rock star.
I want to congratulate you again because, bro, you are a rock star.
Thank you, brother.
You're
Thank
literally doing it. The only thing that's going to change is just more and just bigger and bigger. You're already doing it.
Thank you, man.
You know what I mean?
And it takes a supporting cast, I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Milk,
Yeah.
CEO of House Party brand, premier weed brand in the city. He's another person that keeps me grounded, keeps me focused. We go back and forth with each other. To my brother, of course, to my wife Danielle, what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going on around me, what I'm saying? To be able to say that, it's not just me, I have team members there that make sure that we all win together.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, another major key, guys. Like, no matter who y'all see in camera up front, it takes a team. Like, you know what I mean? We got a great team in front of the camera, great team behind the camera. You know what I mean? Like,
shout out to Abby.
Shout out Abby.
Shout out.
We appreciate everyone. If there is if there's a key to success,
Yes.
that you could leave with something that you just experienced in your lifetime that you feel work. It don't even have to be just towards music, just in life, a key to success. What would you say is one of the biggest keys to success you could leave with the audience?
Okay, so I would tell you guys that something that we're like all uncomfortable with, and we're like taught this when we're little. We got to do the opposite today. Talk to strangers. Talk to strangers. You never know who you're gonna meet.
Right.
I love the way you presented that.
Yeah, it's just vulnerability to us because nobody wants to open themselves up. You know? But some of the biggest moves I've made has been just talking to strangers. Talking to the person that you say, hey, who's that? Yeah. Somebody walks up to you and they're trying to get your attention and you're just too busy.
Right.
Sometimes we're not that busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a moment and say, hey, what's your name? What do you do in life?
Yeah.
You never know who you're going to meet. So talk to strangers.
Yeah. And, like, I'd love to add on that it's not to have the expectation that you're expecting something out of that,
exactly.
It's just that wanting to spark the conversation just to spark a conversation, that alone is a success.
Yeah.
Yes. There's the typical things come with the grind and never give up and go hard. We all know that.
Yeah.
Well, how many times does somebody tell you, like, you got to talk to strangers. You got to the person you don't know. And sometimes they become your biggest supporters,
Absolutely.
Really. A lot of people that are fans of you that you have no clue of. So.
Yeah, like, speaking of talking to strangers, we were strangers at a certain point, like.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out my cousin, I love him to death. Like, I actually started this with my cousin, and he had a lot of things going on in life. He couldn't do it. And then a stranger Now, friend, because I talked to a stranger, yo, we keeping it going. We going strong. We going hard. We taking it to the next level. And we got so many plans for the future. So what you're saying, like with these relationships, talking to strangers and networking, and also even like what you were saying too, Natika, like when he says talk to strangers, he's saying build a relationship, right? It's not talking to them to see what just you can get.
Right, exactly.
Because you will lose that relationship fast. If you're just like, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? That's not a real relationship.
Yeah,
That's
people
more
will
of
smell the phony off of you, you know?
Nah, you gotta be able. Like I tell a lot of people think that I just jumped into this and made $1 million. Like literally, probably about 65-70% of my time I worked for free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to show the work, prove the brand.
Yeah.
Everything is branding. You know,
Yeah.
people have to believe in who you say you are. You have to show them that, and you have to show them that consistently.
Consistently.
You know, so yeah, definitely be ready to put yourself out there and go hard, man.
For real. And he's Mr. Outside. So when you say put yourself
I'm
out there, he
outside.
know he
Outside.
He
Nobody
outside.
more outside than me.
New York City.
That's right. Shout it out. We outside New York City. We ain't never going back in. That's right.
It's going down. Before we get to our commercial break, right? Shout out to the sponsors. We
Shout it out. Holla at me.
for sure. We gotta. Is there anything you want to let the people know is coming up? And also, we want to make sure we shout out your Instagram. So if y'all want to come to the best events in New York City, y'all need to be following his page and seeing what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Instagram is GoTyme Music, GOTYME Music, one word. Again, that's GoTyme Music with a Y. We've got a lot coming up. You know, we've got some big concerts coming up. You know, we're working on some private engagements, looking to go into our own space.
Yeah.
You know, as well. We do a lot of venues in the city. Shout it out to all the venue guys that support us and let us do our parties there. You know, Big Joe over there at Harbor, one of the biggest guys. You know, definitely. Yeah, he's such a humble giant. You know, and stuff. So shout it out to him. You know, shout out to George K and them over there, Dream Hospitality, Mario. And and just look out. Like stay on the stories. It's always on the stories. It's always getting posted. And again, man, if you're in the industry, you want to work or you need to find out what's going on, give me a call. I'm open. My line is open. You know, if you're serious with your inquiries, give me a call.
Nice.
For sure. Make sure y'all follow him. Stay in tune. Of course, you know we got to do a Love First collaboration
Love First.
soon. You already know we got to, team up with GoTyme Music.
Right, let's go. Man. Let's get it.
It's going down. And of course, if you appreciate these keys to success and this inspired you some way, subscribe, comment, like, and don't hold this to yourself, man. Share with a friend. You got some good people in your life.
Spread the love.
They can use this information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, spread it. Share it.
Love First TV app. I know y'all already downloaded
Definitely.
it. So I don't even have to talk about that. All right. But as always, make sure if you don't remember anything, you remember this.
Why hate when you can love first? It's the Love First podcast. Here.
Let's go.
When I come around, I wanna see smile. Don't cry when I come around, I wanna see smile. You could call me daddy, 'cause I'll always be here to hold you tight in my arms and protect you. You could call me daddy, 'cause I'll always be here to hold you tight in my arms and protect you.